Fine. So by the time other students join, we can talk about our sessions. Till now, we have conducted, I guess, 5 sessions. So I would like to ask all the students who have joined now, if you'd like to comment on your experience, because this is altogether a different thing. Uh, we have studied together on offline mode in the classroom. Then there was a phase where we had YouTube as a platform, and now this is Google Meet, right? So the session is open for everybody. Whatever suggestions, ideas, comments you have, or if you wish to convey your experience, you can share. This is what we do generally in the lab. If you remember, in English labs, for first 5-7 minutes, we used to meet together, sit together, and we used to discuss. And then after sharing the plan of action, that what shall we do in the lab, we used to go ahead. The same kind of thing will implement here online, right? And I'll walk you through the presentation, that what exactly we will do. Will carry on the things in the labs. The way I had given you orientation for your lectures, in the same way I'm going to give you orientation for lab activities. Fine. So we can one by one we can talk about it. So I wish that those who are you know those who wish to say, they can go for it. Yeah, I would wish that we talk here. Now you can unmute your mic and you can speak. That would be great thing. If you're comfortable to switch on your camera, even I don't mind it. But we like to have interaction. If possible, voice. That will give us a kind of feeling. So Riza, if you can unmute your mic and you can speak something.
Sir, we enjoy learning, but we too miss the college.
Okay, yeah, this is something, it happens that the way you have studied for 12, 13 years, and altogether you need to change. So that creates a kind of problem, right? Because
Yes, sir.
yeah, I understand, and I wish that, I pray to God that very soon I can see you on the campus, and we can go, we can start learning in that typical environment of classroom, right?
Yes.
Great, great. Any other special idea, or any special observation, if you have, if you want to share? Because the way we have planned, or structurized our lecture, we have divided our entire 60 minutes time into different parts. Same way, this 120 minutes will be dividing into parts, right? So those things I'm going to share here. So before I share, I want to know from you people that what is your observation, so that I can go accordingly. Because ultimate goal, as a teacher, is to see that you people get maximum advantage. Fine. So that's the goal. That's the motive. That's the objective, and that's the reason I would like to ask you in first 5-7 minutes, that you tell me that what is your observation. Nandan, what do you say? Isha, Kushi, Jenny, Shyam, Ankit, Dhyay, Parth.
Sir,
Yep.
can I share something?
Please, please.
As it always been great to see you again in third semester, and I like the way you try to share new things with us, and it's good to see you again coming with up new ideas always to get benefit us. And yeah, the way you created 60 minutes innovative, that's very good for us.
Right. In the same way, I'm going to share, I have divided all the labs, 12 labs in 3 different categories. And category wise, I have planned, this 120 minutes, bifurcation. So I'm going to share that today. And along with that, I'm going to share the details of book review, because book review is something you cannot do it overnight. You need some time to prepare, read, and understand. So this lab will talk about book review and all. Fine. So if you have something more to say, we can go ahead. And as we believe in democracy, at any point of time you can, unmute and you can speak. I don't mind it. Fine. Okay. So I guess everybody is in now. There are 18 students. 2, 3 students are still. They could not join. I guess they would join later on. Fine. Okay. So we can start presentation part, and we can go ahead. Fine. I'll walk you through the presentation and we'll talk about it. Uh, in between, I'll be asking you people about your ideas, right? So Parth and Lisa, right? I'll ask you, because when I'll be sharing this presentation, I'll be able to see only a presentation screen. So if you have a question or query somewhere, fine. So in that way, you people would be there who can unmute your mic and you can speak. Is it fine?
Totally fine, sir.
Fine. Okay. So can you see this screen on your mobile or laptop? Lab activity, orientation, and flow of
Yes,
conducting
sir.
online lab.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. So we'll start with this. I'll not go in detail about it, because you know this. I have discussed this teaching scheme when we talked about our lecture orientation. So I'll not go about it. So I'll skip the slide and I'll go ahead. These are 10 labs, right? That would be there and we will discuss these activities during our lab sessions. There are certain activities where G2 has prescribed 2 labs, and there are certain activities where we have 1 lab, that is 2 hours in total. Okay, so one is role play, second is letter writing, third is group discussion, fourth is presentations, fifth is book review, sixth is mock interview, report writing is seventh, eighth is case studies, ninth is conducting meeting and minutes of meeting. This is very popularly known as MOM, minutes of meeting. And last lab would be practical assessment, where I'll be asking you people for your Viva. Fine. Okay. So what comes in the role play, right? That we need to understand. When you talk about role play, right, we need to understand that what comes in role play. Fine. Okay. So here, role play means there will be a conversation. If you remember in your English subject in the second semester, in one exam, one question was asked that was related to dialogue writing. So here, role play is something which has dialogues, and based on the dialogues, you execute the things. So I have videos with me, right? Along with the videos, there are tips and techniques, and there will be 7 to 8 groups within your lab group, right? And we'll be doing that in the next lab, right? Otherwise, if we had last lab conducted in that way, we would have been talking about role play today. But unfortunately, there was certain idea, certain issues with load adjustment and net connectivity. That's why we could not conduct last lab. Fine. Okay. Second is letter writing formal. If you remember, you had done your passport to communication skills. In that, unit number 4 was about letter writing. Now letter writing is something that comes every day in everyday life. Here it has been mentioned very specifically that that is formal. That means letter writing would be there, but that would be formal letter writing. Whatever letter writing you had studied in the passport to communication skills, that was something informal or semi-formal. Now, why letter writing is important, I tell you, right? For example, if you're planning for IELTS and if you want to go abroad, right now it is not safe to fly anywhere. But if you wish to, extend your higher education in some of the best universities of the world, in that way, if you plan, so in that way, you need to write IELTS exam. Right now, in IELTS exam, there are two modules. One is for academic, second is for general. That means people who are looking for PR or something, or job purpose, they need to write IELTS exam in specifically general training module. Over there, letter writing is there as one of the elements of testing writing skills. So we'll be talking about those letter writing skills. Group discussion, yes, it would be altogether a new experience for all of us to have a group discussion online, because right till now, what we have seen is we have seen that people of contribute or they participate in group discussion at offline. So here there would be a challenge, but we'll consider it as an opportunity, because next generation, next phase would be of online. So in that way it can help us. Fourth is presentations. Over there, in the next lab or in the coming labs, I'll give you any to select any topic, and you need to prepare a presentation for 2 to 3 minutes, right? And it can be extended to up to 5 minutes time. You can choose any topic related to communication, and you can present it. Book review we will be discussing today here. So in that way, I'll talk about how to read a book, what is the importance of books in our life, how one can read a book, what are the elements of writing books, right? And GTU has given a list of books, fine. So I'll share that comprehensive list with you people. You may select from that, but I'll be a little bit flexible, right, in terms of selecting a book. For example, if there is a book, right, which you have read and which is very near to your head and heart, and you wish that, sir, I love this book, right, and I want to talk about that book, so I will allow you in that way. Fine. So we'll be talking about your experience as a reader, right, and those who can read can lead the world. So we'll talk about those things. Mock interview is very important for you people, specifically when you move to the next year, when companies would be coming, knocking the doors of our university for placement, and you people would be there in the classroom as a friends. And when you switch to the interview hall, you will become a competitor. And when everybody has a similar kind of background, similar kind of age, similar kind of grades, right, in that way, when company has come to select 5 and there are 500 candidates, you need to prove that you have something in addition to that. You need to have something to justify with that. This is the reason why I can be taken. So there are tips and techniques for mock interview. We'll talk about it. There are different types of interviews. For example, there are social interviews too. When we meet somebody or somebody has come to our home for the first time, we interact. And when our views are interchanged, when our ideas are interchanged, it is interview. So it is a part of communication. So we'll talk about those things too, but the more focus would be on job interviews and placement interviews. Report writing. Report writing as a programmer, computer programmer, it is a must for you people, because in everyday life you will be asked in a professional career as a professional to prepare a report, right? So how to prepare a report, and here I'll give you little sense about how to write a research paper, right? Because you need to understand, you need to establish that I'll also talk about patent, how to register for patent, how to search for the patent, what is copyright. So this comes under the umbrella of IP, intellectual properties. Fine. So it will happen that you have some good idea with you generally you share with your friends, and you don't try to execute that idea, and after 5 years down the line in the deep future, you will find that somebody has executed on that idea, and that person has won the hearts of the people, hearts of the society, and he has earned a lot in terms of money. Fine. So here, what on that day you will say that, oh my God, I wish I would have done that. But thing is that when your idea is aborted, it is no more your idea, and ideas float, right, in the air at particular frequency. You tune up, or you match the frequency, you will get that idea. Fine. So we'll talk about those things. Case studies, that is very important for us in a way, right? Why case studies? Because GTO has given branch specific different situations with reference to ethics. Because if you're a good programmer, if you create a kind of program that helps the society, that shows your skill. And if you design or devise a keygen that can crack any software. So this is the difference between, right, being Arjuna and being Karna, right? Both are, warriors. They were great warriors. But as Karna was not on the side of dharma, that was the problem. So here we need to be very clear that this is a, demarcation line. This is a line. If you cross this line, this is unethical, and if you there within the line, that's ethical. So I guess we'll have lots of discussion, debate, agreements, disagreements on every statement, right? When we discuss about case studies. I will also, inspire, motivate, ignite you people, that if you can find out more uh, of your own kind case studies, you bring into the floor. We may also discuss those things, because we want to talk about, we want to brainstorm. It's not one-way communication. We like to go for, two-way communication. It should be bi-directional. Then conducting meeting and minutes, right? See, there is a difference between hangout and meeting, right? In the evening, you call your friends and you say, now, as per the new norms, as per the new normal, we can, stay out of away from the home till 10 o'clock. Let's go and have fun. You go with your friends somewhere, right? Now, thing is, that is hangout. There is no objective purpose. You just enjoy. But when we specifically talk about a meeting, right, in that way, it is very important. It's very important that before sending an invite for the meeting, you share the agenda. What is the objective or objectives for the meeting? Why we are meeting? And during the meeting, what has been decided, there is one person who will note down the things, and that person will share later on decision made during the meeting in terms of points. They are called minutes of the meeting. Now you understand what is MOM, what is, meeting. So before meeting, agenda; during meeting, discussion; after meeting, MOM, minutes of the meeting. That would be the scenario, that would be the thing that we will talk about, right, in detail when we touch upon that portion of lab activity. Right now, 10th one is practical assessment. No need to say that what would be there over, right? So we'll not go for it today. Practical assessment is a viva. So I'll be talking about that thing when we talk about viva and practical assessment, or different types of assessments, right? Okay. Till now, Lisa and Parth, is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I have everybody who can write right over there in the comment box yes, so that I can go ahead? If you are clear with this, the lab activity part, please type yes in the comment box, right? I know that, yes, computer people are fastest in the typing on keyboard, right? They can type faster than anything else. And there are some people who feel that, okay, when everybody is writing yes, why should we write yes? It is implied. So I want everybody to be active. Fine, no issues. We'll go for flow of the lab. Fine. Okay. Now you look at this. It starts with opening remarks, right? It has got 60 minutes. Our lab is for 20 minutes, right? So, yep. Just wait a minute. Fine. Okay. Fine. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, that we have, what I've done is I have divided our entire lab sessions into three parts. So this is first one, first category rather. That category is for role plays, group discussion, and case studies. Specifically, when we have more discussion, right? And based on discussion, there are feedbacks. So first 5 minutes, there will be opening remarks. From next lab, I'm going to share the list of people that will be opening the lab, and that would be lab remarks given by the particular student for maximum 5 minutes, right? Then 15 minutes for instructions and brainstorming. Fine, that we do that. What is role play, how role plays are conducted, what is group discussion, what are the tips and techniques from language point of view. See, here our entire focus would be on communication. There are many aspects which are associated with group discussion and role plays and case studies, but our focus would be purely on language basis, right? That would be there. Then we will divide entire lab in three parts. So everybody would be given 20 minutes time. In that 20 minutes time, there will be some time given for the preparation, some time would be there for execution, and there would be feedback. As I mentioned, that when we talk about communication, feedback is very, very important in a way. Then next 5 minutes would be for useful resources. That means I'll be sharing different types of videos, web sources, mobile applications, which can be useful for you people so far as role plays, group discussions, or case studies are concerned. Then the next 5 minutes would be Q&A. Q&A means, if you have a question related to the performance or tips or techniques, however, you are allowed to speak at any point of time. You need to just do one thing. Either you type it or unmute your mic and you will speak, right? That's very simple, right? As per our common norms, right? The way we conduct the lab. Then there will be 10 minutes for quiz and discussion, right? So here I'll be talking about quiz or questions related to role plays, group discussion, case studies, and there will be discussion too. For example, there are 5 questions. You answer the question and then we'll be discussing over that. Attendance and closing remarks. That would be the first, what we call it, first category, how we'll go for the lab. Fine. Okay. Is it clear now up to this part,
Yes, sir.
Rita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll go for the next one. Letter writing. right? Letter writing, report writing, and MOM. MOM stands for minutes of the meeting. Fine. So same way here, 5 minutes will be there for opening remarks, 30 minutes for introduction and instructions. Brainstorming would be there. Fine. Okay. So what shall we do is we'll be talking about different templates of letter writing, different layouts of report writing, different ways of writing, recording MOM. So nowadays people write, record MOM in audio form, in video form, or there are transcribers, right? So that transcribes, for example, you speak and it is written. So there are different ways. So technologically and technically, how to cope up with those things, we'll talk about that thing. And then they'll be given 3 tasks, right? For each task they'll be given 20 minutes time. For example, I'll ask you to write a letter, I'll ask you to write a report writing, I'll ask you to write MOM. Now why 20 minutes? Because in IELTS exam and international level in TOEFL, right, to write 120 words, that is one side of A4 size paper, they give 20 minutes time. So that's why we'll give 20 minutes time. So that is scientifically decided that in 20 minutes time, a person can write letter easily. Now, if you look at from GTU point of view, right, you will get at 14 minutes time a maximum to complete a question of 7 marks. So I'll be giving you a little bit more time so that we can also go for the feedback. Fine. Okay. So on that particular day, I'll share the Google form. You upload your 3 letters, right? 3 reports or 3 MOM. Fine, and we can discuss it in the next form, or I can give you grades accordingly. Then 5 minutes for useful resources. There are beautiful websites, mobile applications, web resources, even some online courses which can help you to write letter writing, letters and reports right in proper way. So I'll be sharing those things. Here there will be feedback in form of Q&A. So that's why I have ignored Q&A session. There will be quiz and discussion for 10 minutes, 5 minutes for attendance, and 5 minutes for closing the parts, right? See, this is not a watertight compartment that, okay, 5 minutes over, now we'll switch to next one, right? This is for our convenience. This is what we have done hypothetically. For example, in opening remarks, if we spend 10 minutes time, it's okay. For useful resources, it might take 2 minutes only. If you are very clever, you will complete your all 3 letters in 30 minutes time. So I'll be saving 30 minutes time for feedback. Fine. So, but in a broader sense, right, if we have certain flow with us that help us to go ahead, right, in that particular direction. This is the reason why I have bifurcated in this way. Now for book review and presentation, this is very important for you people. See, presentation doesn't mean that only you speak by reading the slides. For example, if you look at the diagram, right, you will not have seen that kind of diagram anywhere else, right? Now thing is that how to create, right, such kind of stuff for presentation, right? This is a simple PowerPoint presentation, but it has been designed in a different way. Okay? So I don't tell you that I have done a lot of creative work or copyrighted work or patented work which requires lots of appreciation. This is something, it's about attitude, it's about your vision, how you can go ahead. Because I know personally that before if you look at the words and the charts and the graphs and the diagrams, they have more, they are more powerful in a way to communicate things. So if you have one paragraph and one chart, I can tell you that one chart can give you more impact, right? Or it will leave a more impact in the minds of the readers. So that's why we will talk about how to find out such kind of smart arts, how to find out such kind of editable resources, right? There are lots of free websites available which can transform your presentation from from altogether a different way. It can you can see 180-degree transformation. Fine. So this is what we are going to talk about here in terms of useful resources. Fine. So for book review and all, everybody will get 3 to 4 minutes for presentation, and then there will be feedback and all, attendance and closing remarks. Here there won't be Q&A because Q&A is not required here, right? Here we don't require what we had earlier in terms of quiz, right? Because quiz won't be there, right here. So we'll focus on these things. So I omitted these two elements when talk about presentation, so I can give more emphasis or give more time to our students for presentation, right? And there will be quiz time. You know about it, so I'll not go in detail about it. For every lecture, for every lab, right, there will be quiz, right? And when we talk about book review or presentation or role plays, right, if we have, for example, in last lab only we had more discussion and students required more time in the lab for preparation, right? So I said, okay, I'll share a Google form in terms of feedback. You share the feedback, and in next lab in 10 minutes I'll talk about feedback, right? So thing is that this is possible, right? We can go ahead in this way. Okay, now quiz, so it's there now. Assignment number 1 for 10 marks, it is there for book review, right? So we are moving towards the second phase of our presentation. So I need to make sure that before we go ahead, is everybody clear up to now, so I can talk about book reviews now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So here, see, there are lots of websites available. There are lots of presentations readily available for book review. I don't want you people to go and download that, change the first slide, and come back to me and show me this is presentation, right? I'll give you 1 month time, 4 weeks time, where you can find and select the book that you like for 1 week. Next 3 weeks you prepare, right, and you present. Right? This is what I expect from you people. Fine. Okay. So before I move ahead, right, I would like to ask the students, right, of batch B, that if you have read any book and that book has left a kind of impact in your minds, right, and if you can talk about that book, or if you can write the name of that book in the comment box. I like to know that if you have read any book, or is there any book which is near to your head and heart, right, with the book that you love, or if you can share certain details about that book. So we are on a discussion mode now. If you don't come voluntarily, a name, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Very good. So Lisa and Parth, right? Mahima, The Secret Garden, very good. I want everybody to write at least the name of one book. Okay. It's okay with the spelling errors. You type it. Typo errors are allowed. So don't go to Google and find out the name of book and copy and from there and paste here. Don't waste time. Directly type here. So there are 4 students only who read. What about others? Mind it, reading academic books does not come under the criteria of reading. We'll start with Lisa. Lisa, can you speak about the book that you read for 1 minute?
Sir, actually, this novel was taught us in ninth standard,
Okay.
but that book is near to my heart.
Okay. And what is it about?
I just love that book. reading that Three Man in a. There are three friends going for a boat trip, and it's a little comics type, where three friends have different experiments, or rather, we can say that they do adventurous activities.
Okay. So why you like that book?
There was one character named as actually that Montmorency was a dog, and that dog was also there with the three friends. Uh,
Okay.
there are many scenes which I loved. Opening up a tin bottles and having a cheese and bread. That all I like, so I just love that book.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Uh, Parth, can you talk about the book that you mentioned?
Sir, that Love Life and Dream On is kind of not inspiring, not not at all inspiring, but I like the way the friendship between friends and the struggle of the friends which led to them to create one good company, because
Okay.
it was their dream from childhood. So the way they struggle in their life, uh, though the hurdles were there, but later on they end with good company, with having
Okay.
lots of benefits.
Fine. Good. Good. Okay. Mahima,
Yes, sir.
yeah, if you can talk about.
It's about a 10-year-old girl, Mary Lennox. First, she was very indisciplined, like rude, because of her parents' busy life. She was raised up by uh, a servant, like who used to work. Then, in a pandemic, her parents were uh, like uh, his her parents died, and then she was left alone, and then she went to her uncle's house. There her life changed, and it is about the personality transformation of that girl.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Kushi, if you can share the details of the book or the books.
Yes, I have read two books of her, and she writes such brilliant for teens, and we can relate sometimes. Such a good book she write, and interesting, means if we can start reading at midnight also, we cannot stop to read, so we can sleep. I mean, I read one book in just 2 days. That
Okay.
was so interesting, and self growth we can do for that.
Okay.
And every sentence of her written is so beautiful, and yeah, characters were well described. Every character had their own importance, and every character's story is well written, and so yeah. And she writes the stories we never talk about, means we afraid to share, and like that.
Okay. Thank you, Kushi. The other
Thank you.
people, yeah, other people, Anand, Shyam, Jay, Rajesh, Isha, Chintan, where are you people? Are you sleeping in the lab or what? Anand, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, thank God you are not sleeping. Tell me.
Sir, I am not read any books without, yeah, what, I am not reading any books, sir.
Okay, fine, no issue. But you can start one day, right? No problem. So
Yes,
till the
sir.
day you don't find the book that touches you, it's okay. Fine. It is not a crime not to read. Mind it. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So don't feel ashamed of it. It's okay. There are people who have different tests or different ways of earning or gaining knowledge. So there is no harm in that, right?
Okay, sir.
But you communicate, that is more important. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, Anand. Shyam, if you can share. Shyam left. Chintan. Chintan. Chintan left. Okay. Shyam, you joined again. Shyam, can you speak? Yeah, please tell me. Shyam, can you talk about any book that you have read or come across?
No, sir. No read any book.
No reading book. Okay, great. No, for sure. Jay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Same question.
No, sir. I read Wings of Fire for APJ Abdul Kalam. I
Okay.
like to read his struggling in life, and
Okay.
he get up her dreams, and he improve her knowledge in specific science and technology. And his family was struggling in very, and sir, I like to read book very much.
Okay, great. Fine. No issue. Wings of Fire was a very good book to start with.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah, Rajesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you share your experience of reading any book that you have come across?
No, sir. I not read any book, but I
Okay,
start now.
okay, no issue. If you need any help, I'll help you because within 60 minutes time, you will have to decide to read one book at least, right? In 1 month time.
Okay, sir.
Okay, no issue, beta. Okay, Isha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Isha, can you share your experience of reading any book?
Sir, I am not reading any book and I don't know. Please
Okay.
suggest which book I read.
Okay. Fine. Definitely, but I'll share the details of a big list of books, which you can start reading, right? And there are certain books which are very easy in a language to read and very interesting, which can keep you busy, or can glue your seat to the chair, which can hold you tight, until you complete the book. So I'll suggest you certain books in a way. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Rutvi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rutvi, have you read any book till now, apart from
Sir,
academics?
I haven't. Yes, I haven't been a book person lately, but I have read one book called Forrest Gump. It famous actor Tom Hanks. It has also a movie. Uh,
Okay,
he has been since childhood. He has been mental disabled, and he has a supportive mother. Then he built a self confidence, and then he becomes a college football star. Then he become a army. He joined army, and he fights in Vietnam and becomes a captain in shrimp boat, and it's inspiring. So I've read one book.
okay, great. Okay, Fine. Nirbhay?
No, sir, I haven't read any book.
Okay, fine. Ankit?
No, sir. I also didn't read any book.
Okay. KU?
No, sir.
Okay. Ravi?
No, sir, I am not reading.
Okay. Chintan?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. So if you say I read a book, but in that way, I'll ask you to speak about books. It's better to say I have not read a book. Fine, Chintan. No issue, right? No issue. Okay. We have two students left with Jwalant and Khushi. Jwalant, would you like to share?
Sir, I did not read any book yet. Hello, sir, I am audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Very clearly audible.
Sir, I did not read any book yet, but in future I want to or I love to read the books like autobiographies of Steve Jobs and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, fine. This reminded me of one incident. I tell you.
Yes, sir.
One of my students, Sanjay Chaudhary, I name it right. He was there, my student in the year somewhere around 2011, 12, and he was a computer engineer, right? And we used to do lots of experiments, or this with iPhone, updating iPhone and all those things, right? And
Yes,
I
sir.
remember that he asked his parents for 2 months pocket money in advance, and he purchased physical, right, hardbound copy of Steve Jobs' autobiography. And I remember he called me in the evening, sir, I got it finally, and he completed within 20 days of time that bulky book, right? So there
Yes,
are things, which helps you. As I mentioned you earlier, that those who read, they can lead the world. So reading will give you lots of food for brain, and that food for brain can help you to earn your, food for your life. Fine. So a good choice, but you need to act upon. It's not only just thinking about doing it, but now you can also download things. Fine.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. No issue. No issue.
Yes.
Okay. Khushi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you share the details about any book that you have read?
Sir, I already did about Savi Sharma.
Okay, you did it. No, Savi Sharma. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Khushi. Yeah. I'm growing old. Forget things. Fine. Okay. So we can go ahead. Now, thing is that one question is open for the for the audience, right? For the students, right? What inspires you to read a book, right? And there are lots of people who have not read any book. So what stops you to read a book? So we need to we can have that fire. For example, if you're playing a game, unless or until you complete that level, you don't go to bed. If you started any web series, until you complete and all the episodes, you don't sleep. In the morning you will find that your eyes has turned to tomatoes. All right, it is that much red because you're not slept entire night, but you're still happy. So that kind of attachment, why can't we find in a book? Or which kind of what is the thing that can help us to move towards love for the books, right? I'll ask to ask this question to everybody, those who have read the books and those who have not read the books. Fine. I'll be expecting at least three answers, three replies of my question. If I don't get it, I'll pick up randomly and ask. If you have read a book, what was the reason why you left, why you read the book? And if you did not read a book till now, right? So what was the reason why you could not find that inspiration to read a book? This is session is open for 5 minutes, not more than that.
Sir,
Yep. Yes, Parth.
sir, actually, as we are in the age of teen, so we can see that many hurdles are coming in our way, and we have to cope up with many situations. So I inspired because the writers who have written the books, uh, they have their own feeling of the situations they face in their life, how to deal with
Right.
it. The specially book I read, that Love Life and Dream On, that was inspiring to me because the struggle they had faced. They got to many companies for getting money, but they didn't get. But they still struggle doing that. The friendship, the friends were also inspiring that boy, that you don't lose hope, or try to be positive. So that was the way, and I like to read that book. That's only.
Okay, great. Other than that,
And yes, sir. As Rutvi said about that book, The Forrest Gump, I recently watched the movie of Forrest Gump, and the one line was from it, which I liked very much. The mother of the Forrest Gump, she had said that you have to do the best with what God gave you. So that was the
right.
inspiring line for me, and the struggle that Forrest Gump had done in his life.
Mhm.
That was really inspiring for me. And in
Right.
the um, Vietnam, when they had went to patrolling and all, airstrike was there. His all friends were about to die, and his one of his friends tell him that go run, don't wait for me. But he saved his all friends one by one. He put his friend on his shoulders, go to the river shore. He put him there, and again go to the jungle, again bring one of his friends, and that was the way friendship deals with it.
Right,
That's
right.
all, sir.
Great. Yeah, okay. Some years back, I came across one book I read, Animal Farm, right? Written by George Orwell. And there are books, one line of that book touches your heart and head, and it remains there alive for years. Right? I'm talking about that book which I read somewhere around 15, 17 years back. That in that book, the beautiful line written by George Orwell was, four legs are better, two legs are worse. Four legs are better, two legs are worse. So it compares human being and the animals, right? So here we understand, we have seen lots of incidents, right, where people for self interest never care about other people. So these happens around us. So there are lines, dialogues which remains, and that can be a turning point of our life. Very good. Can I have anybody else? As I mentioned that I'll be expecting 3 replies minimum. There were more people who said that they did not read the book. So what was the reason that they never felt like that I should read a book? Can Jenny answer this question? Jenny,
Yes, sir.
can you answer this question, please?
Yes. I have no book any read, but uh, every people in life, every people motivates to you. I
Mhm.
I have to say everyone, not a book motivate you. Every people motivate you because I left my friendship many years. Thank you, sir.
Mhm. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, Jenny. Okay. Uh, who would like to share last one? Jenny, can you nominate your friend, any of your friend?
No, I'm not nominate, but ઓલું સોંગ છે ને કે તેરા યાર હું મેં એમાંની એક લાઈન હું કહેવા માંગીશ કે જાતે નહીં કहीं रिश्ते पुराने किसी नए का अचानक से.
ફાઇન. ઓકે, જેની આમાંથી કોઈ એક ફ્રેન્ડ્સ નું નામ કહીશ મને, જેને હું પૂછું નેક્સ્ટ ક્વેશ્ચન.
Oh. Mahima.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Mahima,
Thank you, sir.
Mahima, you are lucky to have
Yes,
Jenny
sir.
as a friend. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Tell me.
Like I have read 2 to 3 books. Like one of them was The Secret Garden. It's always interest bound. Like you keep on going on reading chapters. Like you have, let's complete one more. Let's complete one more. So yeah, that's only.
Okay, fine. I would love to talk about the book which I came across, and that was a fantastic book. And there are always reasons why the author writes a book. Right? I'll talk about it. But before that, I'd like to assign you one task to go through one video channel, YouTube channel, fine, and you visit that in 15-20 minutes time, and you see that how the book summaries are done. So how people they jot down the points, how they analyze the data details, and how they represent details. That will help you a very quality type of things that I come across from YouTube channel. And I have read, I have seen many book summaries, right, in English, in Hindi, but this is something which I like the most, which I like to suggest you. I am giving the link of that YouTube channel in the comment box, and I request everybody that you spend 15 minutes time, you watch that, you find out one video, because after that 15 minutes time, I'm going to ask everyone that you which video or which book you liked, and you speak about 30 seconds to 1 minute about any book or any book summary that you come across. So it is 11:03 to 11:15, 12 to 15 minutes I'm giving you. You click on the link, go through the link, find out, browse the videos, whichever book you like, just have an overview of that book. And at 11:15 I'll ask you again, right, one by one, that which video you liked, what was that in the channel. I'll ask you certain questions. Fine, your time starts now. Meanwhile, if you have a question or query, you can ask me, you can post me. No, Khushi, I have shared this link for the people to understand that how books are summarized, how books are presented in terms of book summary, right? The list is there with me, which has been prescribed by GTU, right? I'll share that list with you, but you can select the book that you like. It is not necessary or compulsory to select book from that link or the list which I share, but this would be helpful to you in the process of selecting a right book, right, Koshi? Fine. Is everybody back to Google Meet or what?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So can I ask someone to talk about or general overview about the no, about this channel? How is it? We can start with Parth.
Sir, I went through the video in which he talked about 5 books, which are very good. So, the first book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, who was an American author. And I went to see the overview in which the book tells about that in today's world, everyone wants money and financial independence. But just thinking about that doesn't lead us to the to be on cloud 9. So if we want to accomplish our dreams, we have to find our strengths, where we can do hard work, so that can lead us to be rich. And we have to be strong and stubborn with our decision. That's all.
Okay.
And and one more line I want to say that diligence is philosopher's stones. Like in Gujarati, we had one essay that named like Parishrame Paras Mani. So
Right.
that's very inspiring.
Right. Good. Good. Okay. Fine. Can I have anybody else to share? See, if you are a good public speaker, if you like to participate in group discussions, or like to go for vlogs, in that way this channel can help you, because that will give you ready-made stuff, the stuff which you can easily dilute, easily understand, right, instead of reading the entire book. So it was a time when I used to go for a morning walk. So at 5 a.m. I plug in the headphones and I start this 30 minutes or 35 minutes of summary by the time I complete the round. So complete my walking and morning exercise. So this is something which gives you the food for minds, right? And you can directly represent or use in your day-to-day life. So in that way, it is good. Sometimes it happens that when I come to Marwadi from my home, I also sometimes listen to this audio book summary. It is in video form, but I listen to it while I'm on way to Marwadi or when I'm going home. So there are different time slots, 15, 20 minutes time, 30 minutes time, which are there. Anyway, we kill that time by listening to those typical useless Hindi songs. Instead of that, this can help you to grow, rich from mind or from thoughts. So, Rajesh and Jwalant, I would like to ask you, and Dux, you are welcome. These three students, I want you one by one to tell me your experience, and then we'll switch to the next phase. We'll start with Jwalant.
Hello.
Yes, Jwalant.
Hello, sir. Sir, in this video, sir, I go to the channel in which he said about the 5 books which are the best of his choice, or in that I like or I want to read the book. The name is See You at the Top, written by Zig Ziglar, in which he says about that how to get successful in the life. Or every person born on the earth with successfulness, but you want to access his conscious mind to achieve the successful.
Very nice, Jwalant.
and to achieve the success, he also says about to achieve the success or to achieve the goals in the life, the person also helps the others to achieve their goals, so he becomes the successful in the life.
Right. Great. Great. Okay. Fine. Now,
Yes.
next. Yeah. Next. Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Sir, I see one book review. The book name is
Okay.
Alchemist, and
Okay.
the book is about how to achieve our goal and how to reach our destiny.
Okay. Fine.
This
No issue.
story is uh, this story is
Mm-hmm.
one shepherd boy. He's like independent. He tourist. He tour uh, every country and many more.
Fine. Good. Okay. You will be happy to know that The Alchemist is in the list of the in the list of the books review summaries, right? And it is there in, I guess, the third position, where I was reading one blog that it has been translated in more than 250 languages. Fine. So, which is very popular book. It is also there in the list of the list prescribed by GTU for book reviews, right? So, if you select that book in that way, it can be good. Secondly, I have come across lots of readers, teachers who say that if you want to start reading, you can start reading with this book, The Alchemist. Fine. Another book is Toto Chan, right, which can help you to understand, or you can continue that interest within you. That consistency of interest can be there, right, for a long period of time. Okay, the next one. Who is the last one? Third one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Daksh.
I am going to this channel and this guy is saying about in this channel review about 350 plus books on his channel, and also I watch a video of five bestest book on his channel. In first book is Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
Napoleon Hill, American author, and 20 years of research to make this book, and based on 25,000 life stories, and maximum people want to uh, getting money and financial independence, and also knowledge about how to take a decision in life, and also talking about multi-millionaires characteristic pairs, this book.
Okay, fine. Now we'll move to the next phase, assignment. And see, this is the list, comprehensive list prescribed by GTU. It starts with You Can Win by Shiv Khera. You can find another book written by, authored by Shiv Khera, is Living with Honor, Freedom is Not Free. These are all motivational, inspirational, self-help books, right? You can find and you can love to read. Shiv Khera is very well known for writing books in a small stories type of thing. There's one beautiful story that I remembered in the book. It was there, Living with Honor. One boy was asking his parents that I want to buy a black colored balloon. See, they understand the story, how they convey the message. So he went to the balloon man and said that I want to buy a black color balloon. So balloon man asked that why you want to go for the black color balloon. There are different colors. There are pink and red and yellow and white and many. So why you insist to go on black color balloon? So the boy said that I know that black color balloon is the balloon which goes up high in the sky. So the balloon man says that, dear child, this is not the color of the balloon that takes the balloon up high in the sky. It is there inside the balloon, right? That takes the balloon high up high in the sky. So here, with this one small story of 2 or 3 minutes, he says that it is there within us that makes us extraordinary. It is not the skin, it is not the color, tone, hair, right, or facial expression. So this is not something, that the clothes cannot make you superstar, but the nature which is there inside you, right, your attitude makes you powerful, makes you successful. So this is the way how Shiv Khera says. And freedom is not free. You can find the video even, right? This is the book which can ignite patriotism in you like 100%. Then Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. uh, More than 250 translations you will find in different 250 languages, right? Very popular, most successful book available right in the market. One has to read it, right, like anything. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist is there. Then book number 6, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Is there anybody in the class, in the lab, who has read this book, or who has heard about Stephen Covey or of this book? I like to know that. Is there anybody in the lab who know little or much about this 2 books, or one book and the author? Nobody? Fine. This is the book which I read some years back, and I remember the second habit out of 7 habits. Second habit is plan your end before you begin. Plan your end before you begin. Habit number 2, and you will find it on page number 92. Fine. So you need to visualize the big picture of your activity, and you plan accordingly. That will help you, right? So there are lots of books. Big Lip is also a very good book. You can find different shades of life, different aspects of life. Then second list is Upside Down Key, Born to Be Happy, Kiss That Frog, Built from Scratch. It's like like Phoenix. It gives you different idea to rebirth, reboot your system. Fine. And if you look at the book number 21, That Thou Art, Dhruv Bhatt is a very famous author for Gujarati. Fine. Gujarati language, rather, we can say that he's uh, one novel, Timir Panthi, right, in Gujarati. Based on that Gujarati novel, one beautiful movie has been there. Its name is Reva. It's about Narmada River. Fine. The name of Narmada is Reva. So you can find out that book. Poor Little Rich Slum, Rashmi Bansal. Rashmi Bansal has passed out from IIM Ahmedabad, and she has written many books, right? One book, Connecting Dots, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, right, is very famous book of hers. And that book talks about lots of I am alumnus who have decided not to go for a job and to start their own business, and they are now multimillionaires. They have, established new milestones in their own fields. Fine. So even Gujarati version of that, stay angry, stay foolish is Kabe Kothro Des Mokro. That type. That is the title. So you will also love to read that kind of book, right? So these are the 22 books. So what I wish over here is, what you need to do is you need to figure out that which book you would like to select for your presentation. So here, in 10 minutes time, in the comment box, what you need to write is, you need to write down your enrollment number, your name, and title of the book. Right, so I can save this chat box and I can inquire later on. You may update the list, you can ask me, but if possible, decide it today within 5 minutes time, 7 minutes time. You type it and you submit it, all the students.
Sir, can you move back to previous slide?
Yeah, why not? What shall I do is, I will keep this slide before your on your screen for 5 minutes, and then you say next slide. I'll move the next slide. Fine. It is not necessary that you select from this list only. This is not the exclusive list. You can find out any other book also, I don't mind it, but there should be the best presentation. There should be one comprehensive presentation that I want, right? I don't want anybody do the presentation for the sake of doing presentation, right? It should be in a best possible manner, and very comprehensive presentation should be there. Fine. So by the time you say, right, I'll wait for Parth to say next slide. Fine, Parth.
Sure, sir.
Okay. And the moment you decide that, oh, this is the book I finalize, you start writing in the comment box. I will move to the next phase at 11:45 because I want to talk about how to write a book review and attendance, and last thing is closing remarks. Gay is the fastest finger first. Very good, Gay. Student, make it fast.
Sir, you can move ahead.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I can select the book other than this list.
Yeah, you can. You
Yes,
mention in this format.
yes,
Enrollment number, name, and book number. Book name, right? It's
ye-
blue.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Mahima.
Sir, I'm not able to send the message in the chat box. It's coming like failed to send.
Okay. Try with your friends. Ask your friend. Who is your best friend?
Sir,
I'll
I
ask.
have same problem.
Okay. You can do one
Sir,
thing. You leave and
Sir,
join again.
I have some problem.
Okay.
sir,
Yep. Parth.
sir, they can do one thing. They can close the recent apps and again join. That will be a solution for them.
Fine. So try it out. So 1 minute left.
Sir,
Yep.
can I change my book?
Yeah.
Oh,
As many times as you can. Fine. Everybody. Format for the book review. You look at this. Here, pages mean sections. See, this is for your reference. This is ideal layout. It is not compulsory, necessary, fixed that you need to follow this. But broadly, you can you understand that this is a layout, right? More you can have your own format, or I insist that instead of going for a PowerPoint presentation, you may select anything else also. For example, if you want to go for a kind of website or a blog or a video or Prezi, right? Whatever alternatives you can find other than PowerPoint presentation, you can go for it. Number one. Number two, you in PowerPoint also there are million ways you can make your presentation effective, unique, in a different, right? So you can go for it. It is up to you. I give you a free hand to select any tool that you like. First page, first section talks about students information, where you need to write down your basic information, your name, enrollment number, class, division, semester, etc. Page number 2, that is section number 2, wherein you mentioned in the next slide about all the details about the book, title of the book, author, publication date, publisher, editions. There are many editions. For example, edition means, what do you mean by edition? Can anybody tell me? What do you mean by edition? Fine. See, I tell you that when a particular book is published, right, it is published with one fixed quantity. For example, 1,000 books or 500 books or like that, right? So that is in technical terms it is called print run. Every time with one quantity, when it is printed and published, it is called one print run, right? So the number of times the book has been reprinted and republished. Fine. So it is given number, the way we have in mobile applications versions. In the same way, book has got editions. Fine. Okay. Then ISBN number, it is international standard book number. This is a unique number given by government to the publishers, and publisher assign that typical 13-digit number to every book, right? So by clicking on that number, by scanning that number, you can get the entire detail of that book, right, which is there in this title. Fine. Okay. Next is book review. These are the 5 questions which will help you to write your book review in a best possible manner. For example, if you start with the first one, what was the story about? A brief summary of the story. So if you read the book, you jot down the points, you'll get to know that, okay, what are the most important points that I like to include in summary of this book or book review of this book, right? So that will justify in that way. Who are the major characters and minor characters? So when it is a book, there will be stories, and when there are stories, there are characters. So what are the characters? There are two types of characters you can find. Even in movies, you find that there are lead characters and there are supporting characters. So in the same way, in the books you will find major and minor characters. You can list out total number of characters and those who are in the center of the story, right, or the story moves around them, right? So in that way they are major characters, you can mention them. What did the major or minor characters do in the story? So what are their contributions, what are their roles, right, uh, in the story? So you can mention about that thing. Who was your favorite character, or who is your favorite character, why? You justify that this particular character or characters are your favorite, and you mention with the justification that why it is so. Fine. So in that way it will help you. Now, next is, if the book has motivational stories, which story motivated you? See, it is not the motivational story. It is our mindset who takes the things positively or gets motivated. So, what is that plot, dialogue, the way Parth said? Even some other students say that there are certain lines, dialogues, incidents in the book that touches our head and heart and that lives for many years with us, right? So what was that thing, or what were those things? If they are, if you have more than one thing to mention, right? So you can talk about these 5 questions, and I tell you that these are the 5 questions that would be the backbone of your book review, right? So if you have given 5 minutes time, I guess 3 minutes time will be given to do to this 5 questions. Next, section number 4 is your personal opinion about that. Why did you like this book, right? Which part is your most favorite one? We'll not go for the least favorite, we'll go for the most favorite only. Could you relate that to any of the characters in the story? Have you ever done or felt some of the things the characters did? So the reason why you like any book is you feel like you start living that life, you start living that story, right? You find that okay, it is also applicable to you. If you remember, if you you can disagree to me if you wish to, but what I have felt is when I watched Sandeep Maheshwari's first seminar, find life-changing seminar, I could find that there were so many things which was related to me, and that was the reason why Sandeep Maheshwari is very popular with teenagers and engineers and all people. Right? Why people like him? Why? Because you feel that okay, yeah, this is something which comes to which comes to me also, or I have also come across such kind of thing. So that is very important in a way. So if you can find out and correlate such kind of thing, you can also mention in the book summary or book review. If you could change something, what would it be? Right? For example, there are certain characters we find that lots of injustice happened to them. So if you can find out that okay, this is something if I can change, as an author, I would have changed it. So you can mention that about recommendation is the whom we would like to recommend this book, right? Why you want to recommend this book to somebody? You can bring in the genre of the book, right? For example, it's self-help book, and people can go for it because of this lockdown, and people started living alone. People started living with the family, and they had friends, and all those things. So because of those change over a period of time, people find frustration, people find depression around them. So how to fight that depression or frustration, right? So you can select such kind of things and you can mention, right? So this is what the things are, right? So if you have a question or query regarding this, you can ask me. This is what a book review is, or the tips for book review. And if you're clear with it, what we can do is we can call it a day, call it for a day with closing remarks and attendance. So I would request one student to close the session, right? Jenny, would you do that? Would you close the session?
Okay, sir. I do.
Fine. So yeah, first I will take the attendance. By the time you can organize your thoughts, and after that I'll give you time to 2 to 3 minutes to wind up the session, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay, so it's attendance time now, the most important thing, right, for you people. Fine. Okay. DA, is DA present?
Yes, sir.
Bhavesh,
Yes, sir.
Krunal, okay, Mahima,
Yes, sir.
Shyam,
Yes, sir.
Jenny is present, Nandan,
Yes, sir.
Lisa,
Yes, sir.
Nirpay is present, Jwalant is
Yes.
present, Rutvi,
Present, sir.
okay, Chintan,
Yes, sir.
Daksh, Rajesh is there, Ravi,
Present, sir.
is Ravi there?
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Anand,
Yes, sir.
okay. Khushi,
Yes, sir.
okay. Keyur, Keyur,
Present, sir.
okay. Dhruv, Kushal,
Present, sir.
Ankit,
Present, sir.
Isha,
Yes, sir.
Parth is present, Meet,
Seabed, sir.
okay. So Parth is the last one, okay. Dhruv, are you there? Okay, absent. No issue. Yes, Jenny, your turn.
Okay, sir. Mm, I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Mm, this lab is learn to me how to can read the book inspired by a book and the positive think in our mind how to positive in life to inspired by a book and which book read to our life to how to positive to our life
Okay.
and I inspired by you, sir. Also, I can start now read the book. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. God bless you. Fine. So we keep up to this. Fine. And I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your lunch. Have a great day. Thank you very much. In the next lab, we'll be talking about role plays, right? And before that, I'll tell you who is there to open the session, who will be there to close the session, right? Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.